In this section, I'll explain and demonstrate some of the applications of the Chen sabre form. So the sabre form is quite direct and simple in its usage, and a lot of the ideas of the Chen sabre form is not sabre against sabre, it's against another pole or another weapon. So first I'll explain just some of like the slashes and thrusts before we look at some of the ideas against the pole or the spear. Yeah. So it's quite obvious here. I'm just slashing. Here I'm thrusting. It doesn't really matter. I'm just like stabbing. I'm chopping. So you'll see movements like this. I'm slicing or cutting horizontally. Yep. So that's pretty much what they're doing. Yep. But it's the movements around. Yep. That we'll look at. So for example, we use movements like this a lot. Boom, roll, roll, before we either slice, before we thrust, and then even we use movements like this before we hack or chop as well. So these movements, we use the hand to kind of block. So imagine a long weapon like a pole coming forward. I can move off and block. I can even move off and block and slide down the weapon towards the person's hand. Yeah, I can block out to the side. They come to thrust, they can block again. Yeah, so something coming from the top, I block this way. I redirect and strike in. Yeah, so this is the basic idea of the Chen sabre form, using the other hand and using these movements to block. So in the next section, I will demonstrate the sabre applications against a pole or a spear. Okay, so we'll look at the idea of roll and close now. So Ralph is going to thrust his stick towards my center. So he's like touching, yeah. So again, so he thrusts this way. So I'm in this position from the saber protecting the heart. You see he comes this way, I'm going to deflect out to the side. So remember, I'm using that triangle shape. So I'm not having it flat. Otherwise, if you come again, if I kind of go like this, or miss, can you see it's going to hit me? So I need this triangle shape for this structure. I don't need to always sometimes I can use both hands. Other times I can start and I slide away. Can you see how the pole slides? I can go towards his hand. So this can also work if we swap sides on the other side as well. So as he comes, I rotate out this way. I can step again. In the form, if you just relax for a minute, Ralph. So in the form, I can go right, left, turn. This way, I can go left, right, spin. Yep, and we also have beat the grass to search for the snake. Boom, boom, very similar ideas, yeah? So this time, Ralph is gonna thrust side to side, and I'm gonna just deflect and deflect. So if you come in, I move off, he retreats. So as he comes again, I'm gonna move off to the other side. As he retreats, move off. So this is a good way to practice this idea. So I could start stationary. So we go, boom, he comes in, boom, boom, and then I can start to get my feet involved, boom, 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 boom. Okay, thank you. So that's how to use this movement from the Chen Tai Chi sabre form. In this section, we're going to look at green dragon comes out of water. So that's the one of the first movements in the form where we go right, left, boom. So we go deflect, deflect, boom, this way. It's in, I slice out, boom, this way. So I might miss. So I want to use my feet just a little bit. So I don't want to like jump out the way necessarily, but I want to slightly come. So as he comes again, I'm going to move off this way. And then here, can you see I'm going to grab the stick because it's a pole, there's no spear end. I'm going to chamber the sword just like in the form, and I'm going to stab. We don't have to stab this way, it could be this way. As I come, I could just change and stab this way, yeah? So as he comes again, so he goes 1, 2, boom, this way. So as he comes again, I move off, boom. I turn and boom. Okay, so that's green dragon jumps out of the water. In this section, we're going to look at black tiger searches the mountain. So that looks like this, where we block up, I redirect and strike out. So I block up, I deflect or redirect, turn, block up. So in the form, we're kind of sideways, or I'm square on, and then I turn. Ideally, the attack is going to come forward, so I'm not going to be in this position and I'm not going to twist this way. I'm going to be something like this, and then the force is coming down, and there's my twist step. I redirect this way, yeah? So then I'm going to come in. I can have in the form, we do it this way or we do it this way, just because it's a different strike. So when I'm actually coming in, I can strike this way or flat. That's entirely up to you. Black Tiger searches the mountain, so Ralph is going to do an overhead strike. So he's going to come in and strike over, so directly over this way, yeah? So he's striking down. So as he comes over, I'm going to block, boom, this way. Can you see here I've blocked quite high? So I don't want to block this high because Ralph can retreat, take a step back, retreat the sword, boom. Yep, so I want to just, as he comes in, I want to just block enough. Yep, then from here, I want to redirect the saber to the side, and I can use the guard if it slides down as well. That's not always gonna happen, it just depends on the person's strength. So as he comes again, so I block up, maybe from here he might want to push down. So I use that force to redirect. But here I want to use my legs as well to enter. So as he comes in, I block up, I twist step just to redirect. That helps me here, okay? So again, if he comes in, so whoom. So here as I turn, I'm coming in quite close. So I'm not going to be able to stab. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go whoom, hit over. Then I'm going to come over this way to take down, and then that's going to give me more opportunities or other things. So this movement here where we flick over is from the end of search the grass for the snake, where we go 1, 2, can you see I jump? So this next movement we call green dragon out of the water as well, boom, where I hit over this way. So from the side, can you see it's like boom, this way. This is why we use for the close range. So we'll look at that one more time. So again, as he comes in, I block up. As he pushes down, I might redirect. I'm going to come in, boom, hit, and then in close, yeah? So let's go from this side. So as he comes in and strike. So this time I'm at the range. So the range is different. So I'm going to do exactly the same, redirect, and I'm going to turn, and now I'm in range to strike. I can strike this way or flat as well and relax. So this is why in our lineage, when we do this movement, we do a short strike, because we're not far away. We don't need to extend. It's like close quarters. Yep, so it's like close quarters. Even if it's this way, we don't want to extend out like the other moves. So again, if he comes, so he strikes down, I'm like, whoom, I redirect, I turn, I can even stand and on his toes and stab. So we'll do one more from this side. He comes in, boom, I turn, boom, there, in range. So if I want to, because it's not the spear when I do this movement, so as he comes, if I redirect, I can catch underneath as well. I don't need to let this pole go all the way down, and then I've got the strike there. So that's Black Dragon searches the mountain. So in this section, we're going to look at turn the body and chop. So in the form, can you see I'm all the way here and I'm turning all the way around. Boom, I can even jump in this movement, but in reality, when you're using this, it's not always coming from behind. It could already be in front. You're just having to move your feet and your legs to come in. So we'll look at turn the body and chop. Okay, so turn the body and chop is used against like an attack coming from the top. So I want to first block, and I want to try and move off the center slightly. So let's swap over. So Ayub is going to come and strike down. Boom, so he's trying to get in, yeah? So as he strikes down this way, so as he comes, so I'm gonna move off and block. So the reason I'm not supporting this time, if you push down into me as well, boom. Can you see push down, keep going. It's actually, can you feel how I'm getting weaker? So the reason we keep pushing, can you see I push down with my palm, does that feel stronger?
Yes.
Yeah. So can you see in the form, we go, when we turn, dung, it's giving me this structure for the force to come in. So as he comes to strike, again, I'm gonna move off. Yep, he might push down. Then from here, I'm gonna move the sword to the side. Yep, and I'm going to come in and check. Can you see I'm taking his balance? And then I strike in. Yeah, I don't necessarily need to go for the weapon. I can control him from here. Boom, this way. So as he comes again, so I move off, I block. So I'm gonna just turn the saber down. So if you just wait a minute. So can you see here, when I block, I step, can you see how the saber comes down? I step out, my hand moves out, that's the trap. And I'm lifting up to chop. So this is what I'm doing here. So as he comes in, I move off, block, I move, I'm gonna trap in. Can you see I'm in range? And I'm just gonna go for his neck here. So that's turn the body and chop. Thank you for watching. If you want to learn more, check out my Patreon, patreon.com/Tai Chi Space.